When I was made redundant, I pretty much lost everything. I'd lost my job, I'd lost a girlfriend at the time.
I felt very, very alone in what was a really busy, chaotic world.
I felt like I had nothing to say for myself. I felt like I didn't have my own friends. I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere.
I went downstairs, I told my mum, I've lost my sight and I want my breakfast.
All my colleagues were wonderfully supportive, of course really interested in my story, really interested in kind of what type of men I liked, who was I dating, how do you go about dating.
This was my destiny. Had I not endured what I'd been through, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
I tried to walk out in front of a train in Edinburgh, and it was like a moment, I'm not sure how to explain it, but it was like my son shouting at me and shouting daddy, and that was enough for me in that moment to just take stock, reassess the situation.
I remember my first time on business travelling to Hong Kong, and as we were walking into the client's offices, me and my colleagues, one of them suddenly grabbed me and said, if you get given a business card, make sure you take it with 2 hands, and if you're giving somebody a business card, make sure you give it to them with 2 hands. And they just nodded and walked on, and I was like, oh, okay, crikey.
I've been doing this for 30 years and I've yet to come across something like a debt problem that can't be solved. It can all be solved, there's always a solution. So the first thing is do not panic.
I think it's really important to make sure that the time you spend, if you have free time, not to spend it on phones or comparing yourself to people. I think it's really important that we all look at our strengths and celebrate them.
Your background, your education, your values, your religion and your beliefs, all this really matters. It's your ideologies. It's what you grow up being told. It's what is ingrained inside of you.
The realization of what people had actually done to you was my lowest point. And obviously some of the points where I spent many Christmases and birthdays by myself, looking out the window.
In terms of their culture, they're very old-fashioned kind of company, and it was hard enough for them to call me by my new name, which was legally changed years ago.
Ever since I had my brain tumour, I've realised how short and sudden life is, and how quickly it can all go the other way.
I'm an aspiring Paralympian athlete, so I'm on the Team GB Paralympian pathway, and so they're basically gambling on me to be at the 2024 Paralympic Games and 2028 Paralympic Games, which just shows how far autism can take you.
It's not a linear journey, there are ups and downs and there are big puddles to jump through, but it is possible. If I'm sitting here today saying, I've lost, it's 12 years now since my son died, we are happy. It doesn't mean that we don't have down days, but it is definitely possible to have a positive and happy life.
Live every day to the full. I mean, that is the one thing that I can take from this, is that, life really is too short. Everybody says it, but it's so true.